So, good morning. Good morning, sister friends. This is Still Nurturing Hour. Welcome to this special place created for you to offer wellness tips for your mind, for your spirit, for your soul, your body. Take a deep breath, grab your coffee or your tea or your water, and let's dig in. I am Dr. Shemya Vaughn, and I am the creator of this YouTube channel called A Cup of Therapy. On this channel, I am talking to women of color and gender nonconforming people who live with anxiety and depression due to childhood trauma, right? An aside, I am called doctor, not because I am a medical doctor, but because my previous profession was a professor, right? So I have a PhD in rehabilitation counselor education. You can call me Shamaya. So on this YouTube channel and in my wellness coaching practice, I help women and non binary individuals improve their mental health, create a life they love, and heal in community. So, this YouTube channel does not constitute a coaching client relationship. I am a wellness coach and I offer one on one individual wellness coaching as well as a healing circle for Black women. So, today's episode is going to be about that, those two programs, right? I have an individual coaching program called Whole Life Wellness Coaching in a world like this, right? In the US, in a world that moves quickly and demands more from women than ever before, um, from our time, from our energy, from our focus, it's easy to lose touch with what truly matters. So, the Whole Life Wellness Coaching Program is a transformative journey designed to reconnect you with your core values and help you build a life that is not only successful by your definition, and it's also successful by external standards, right? But it's also fulfilling on a deep and personal level. So I want to make sure that whatever life you're trying to create, it's not just looking good on the outside, if that even matters to you, but it's also your personal definition of what success is. At the heart of the program is the belief that true wellness comes from alignment between what we do and what we truly value. Right? I remember my therapist telling me something about how stress or guilt or suffering, it all enters when we're no longer in alignment. So whenever you feel stressed or anxious or worried or all those negative emotions, it's because you're out of alignment. It takes some time to figure out what you need to do to get back on track. But that is the whole purpose of this program, right? So my coaching model integrates the principles of values-based living with practical strategies for growth and healing in 8 life key spaces, our key life spaces. So let me explain. One life space is mental health. Two, it would be physical health. Three, it would be your finances. Four, it would be community. Five would be relationships. Six would be spirituality. Seven would be career and or education. And of course, eight would be leisure or fun, right? Those are all the life spaces that I think that are important to us and that we're always trying to get them balanced out, right? So through a structured, guidance, personalized support, and actionable tools, this wellness program empowers you to create a life rooted in purpose and clarity and holistic well being. right? So let's start with the first question. What am I talking about when I say values-based living? Values-based living means making decisions and setting goals that reflect your deepest beliefs and priorities. It's not about living by society's rules, your family's expectations, or your internal critic demands, right? I know a lot of you have that negative self talk loop going on. This breaks through that, right? So instead of living based on what you're afraid of or what someone else told you was important, it's about identifying what matters most to you, shaping your life in ways that honor your own values. I'll tell you a trick up front. This is how we avoid regrets, right? When we women live according to our values, we feel more fulfilled, we're more grounded and resilient because life keeps coming at you, right? That life will not stop, stress will not stop, negative things will continue to happen. And if we are living according to our values and we're living a life that we love, we can bounce back quickly, right? So we can be fulfilled and grounded and resilient, even when life throws us curveballs. So this coaching program starts here. It's helping you uncover your core values and translate them into actionable intentions. What do you want to do? So I wanted to explain my idea here, this 8 life space framework. This was not something that I dreamt up. I think that's the right word. I was in my graduate program for rehabilitation counseling, right? So I'm getting my master's degree. And the director of the program at the time comes to our class one evening and starts talking about 8 life space model. This, right? And he draws like a pie chart and he has these different, triangles or percentages as part of the pie chart saying that they need to be aligned or balanced for someone to have a satisfying quality of life. The rehabilitation counseling programs train you to work with people with disabilities, all types of disabilities. And so he was saying that when we're working with them, we shouldn't just focus on their mental health and physical health. They have all these other parts of their lives that need attention. That is where this idea was born from. It wasn't my idea, it was his idea, right? Um, so However, I have taken his base idea and added some things in there, particularly not just for people with disabilities, but specifically for women and specifically for 2015 or 2025, right? And 30 years from now, and so on and so forth. So, the whole life wellness coaching program uses a holistic model to assess and nurture 8 interconnected life areas. Each domain that I described before when I talked about the 8, each domain offers insights into how you're currently living and where there may be some misalignment with your values, right? So together, these dimensions form a complete picture of your overall wellness. So for example, I also do therapy. And so for a lot of the therapy clients that I see, I assess them based on these 8 life areas, asking about satisfaction and dissatisfaction and helping them get closer to satisfaction on that. I am moving away from therapy and focusing more on coaching because you see more results. For people that don't have severe mental health issues, this is a good option for them. So let's start with the first category of mental health. Your emotional and psychological well being are fundamental to every other aspect of your life. Together, we can explore patterns of thought, emotional regulation, stress management, and the stories you tell yourself, right? So, whether you're navigating anxiety or burnout or low self worth, or seeking to strengthen emotional resilience, this space provides tools and support for building a grounded and present inner life. And then we move on to start talking about your physical health, right? I am not a doctor. Like I said at the top, this domain addresses how you care for your body through movement, through nutrition, through sleep, through preventative care, right? So you don't need to train for a marathon or follow extreme diets. That's not going to be part of a wellness coaching program. Instead, we focus on what vitality and balance looks like for you, right? So together we can create a wellness plan that aligns with your values and respects your current circumstances, abilities, and goals. I will not push you beyond something that you're ready for at the time, right? I will gently challenge you, but again, there's no need for extremeness. Extremity is not part of this wellness coaching program. The third area is finances. I want to be clear, I do not give financial advice. That is not what I went to school for, right? And I do not have some natural knack with numbers. That's not what we're talking about here. So, what does financial life spaces look like in a wellness coaching program? We start with the obvious. Money can be a source of empowerment or stress, right? So, in this space, we look beyond budgeting and income toward your relationship with money. You can get a financial advisor or read a book about budgeting and income, right? So we're going way past that. We're talking about your relationship with money, even money trauma, right? And how your relationship with money reflects your values, because that's how you spend and save. Depending on your relationship with money, you will spend a certain way and you will save a certain way, you will invest a certain way. That's important. When we talk about your relationship with money, we have to talk about how it influences your decisions and affects your sense of security and freedom. A lot of people, when they have low bank balances or negative bank balances, they just don't feel very hopeful about the future. They don't think that they can change anything, right? It feels like that negative number will always be there. So, coaching may involve clarifying financial goals, addressing limiting beliefs, and building healthy habits that support long term financial wellness, to include housing, transportation, and access to disposable income. The more disposable income a person has, their life satisfaction goes up a little bit. The fourth area we will be addressing in this wellness coaching program is your community, right? Humans are wired for connection and contribution. So let's assess your involvement in your local community or your cultural community or your professional community or your global community. We examine how you give and receive support, the quality of your social networks, and the ways you can create a sense of belonging while living in alignment with your principles, right? And this does not need to be an overwhelming project. We're just talking about getting you connected with other humans. The fifth area that we will address are called relationships. Your personal relationships, the romantic, the familial, the friendships, right? They all have a profound effect on your well being. We explore communication patterns, boundaries, attachment styles, and conflict resolution. A relationship does not have to end because you are in disagreement or because you're arguing about something. A lot of times there's no listening happening, right? So in with this section, when we're talking about coaching, we talk about how do you communicate in a direct manner to get your needs met and to discover the needs of your partner or your friend or your family member. So whether you're seeking deeper intimacy, healing, or just clarity in your relationships, this coaching space supports you in nurturing healthy, values aligned connections. When I say values aligned, I don't mean that you need to have some perfect alignment with values, but their values need to be adjacent. At the minimum, they need to respect your values and treat you as such, right? Move with you in that way. So, for example, if I know family is really important to this friend that I have, and she says she has some family issue come up, I ask, do you need support around that? right? Because I know that's an important value of mine. It's not as important to me, um, but that doesn't mean I minimize what's important to the other person, what's a value of the other person. I'd support them that way. The sixth area we will focus on in wellness coaching is spirituality. So, spirituality is about connection, whether to a higher power, nature, humanity, or a sense of purpose. So, this space invites reflection on what gives your life meaning and how you express that in daily living. It's not about religion. I do want to be clear. You can use this space to deepen your religious faith or your beliefs, but it doesn't have to be about organized religion. It's more about helping you define and nourish the beliefs and practices that ground you, especially during times of change and uncertainty. The seventh area that we will talk about, the life space, it will be career and education. So, this domain explores your work, your learning, your purpose. I'll ask you questions like, are you engaged in a career path that energizes you? Are your professional goals aligned with your personal values? Whether you're at the start of your career, seeking a change in career paths or jobs, or returning to learning, right? So going back to school or going into some kind of educational program to learn a new skill, I want to help you identify meaningful goals and remove internal and external barriers to achievement. That is the purpose of coaching for that life space. The last life space, and not the least important, is leisure. So often overlooked, leisure is essential to creativity, to joy, and mental restoration. We need a break from life. I cannot stress that enough. You need to take time off from being productive so that your mind can wander. That is how you get better ideas. That is how you make um, pivots in your life, right? So, this space assesses how you make time for rest, for play, or frolicking, how you make time for hobbies, right? That's doing activities for fun. I am not going to teach you how to monetize your habits. I'm sorry, monetize your hobbies. I'm actually going to teach you how to just lose yourself in those activities, right? Find your inner child again and play. And we'll also in this space talk about experiences that make life worth living. I'm always going to ask, what are you looking forward to this week? And encourage you to plan something like that, right? We will also explore how to design a rhythm of life that includes not only productivity, because we all have to work, right? But also it includes spontaneity and beauty and fun without the guilt, right? Now, I want to take some time here to explain the program structure. I think some people are not clear on, coaching versus therapy. In therapy, we do a lot of what happened to you, how is it showing up right now, how do you move forward? In this program, the whole life wellness coaching program, it starts with a 90-minute wellness checkup based on your individual needs. So each woman that I work with will receive an initial wellness assessment, right? So we'll take a detailed summary covering the 8 life spaces that I just mentioned, your current challenges, your key values, what's important to you. We will also have that personalized values discovery process. So, through guided exercises and reflection, you'll identify your top core values that serve as your North Star, right? So, when you get 3 to 5 values going, I'm always going to ask, is this part of your value system, or how is this part of your value system? If you cannot make a case to yourself for why this decision would support what you actually want in life, you have to ask if it's serving someone else in any other way, right? So sometimes we do things because other people want us to, and coaching can help you avoid that. Another part of this coaching program is these are optional, but I strongly recommend quarterly one-on-one coaching sessions. So we would meet every 3 months, for example. The first session is about 90 minutes, but the subsequent sessions are about 45 minutes. And we focus on setting intentions, overcoming obstacles, and celebrating progress across the eight domains, right? The 8 life spaces. You will also have a customized action plan, right? So practical steps designed to help you integrate values, align habits, and decisions. And when I talk about action plans, I always say, we're going to start at the end. What is the destination? Where do you want to end up? How do you want to feel? And then we're going to backwards plan, right? And whenever we check in, I'm going to ask about those things. And if something wasn't done, I don't want you to feel ashamed or embarrassed. What's the barrier? What's the barrier, right? Another part of this program is journaling prompts and tools. So these will be more resources for reflection, tracking your growth, deepening insights between our 3 month sessions. And finally, if you decide, no, I don't need to come back every 3 months, I'll just do it every year. Every year, we'll do a 90-minute assessment, right? It's annual progress reviews, an annual checkpoint to help you recalibrate your goals, celebrate the progress across each life area. You do not necessarily need to have a 100%, right? Please get away from that high achieving approach to life here. We are just trying to go for improvement. That's what we're searching for. So you may be asking yourself if this is a program you need. I want to spend some time describing who this program is for to help you answer that question. So, this program is for women, right, who feel overwhelmed or stuck or out of alignment in one or more of those life areas that I mentioned. It's for women who desire more clarity, more purpose, more direction in their lives. It's for women who are navigating a major life transition too, right? So sometimes people are changing careers. Their relationship is shifting. Either they're going from dating to marriage or marriage to divorce, or a couple who's, having a baby soon, those kinds of things. Another transition, of course, is personal loss. Each birthday we have, we're losing more friends and family just because of the aging process. This is also for women who want to live more intentionally and more holistically. This program is designed for women who are committed to doing the inner and outer work of personal growth, right? Not just doing I'm going to get a makeover, but also making over the soul and spirit. So, whether you're a high achiever seeking balance, a caregiver feeling depleted, or a woman simply wanting to live more authentically, this program offers a compassionate and structured path forward. I can help you put more you in your life. Right now, a lot of people feel like they don't have enough them in there. So, next, I want to tell you about the outcomes of this program, right? You will learn how to create a life you're proud to live. You're excited about it. So, by engaging in the whole life wellness coaching program, you'll not only have deeper insight into each area of your life, you'll have a living map of how to move forward in alignment with what truly matters to you. You may not need to do this with a coach forever, right? You don't need that because you'll have that map and you can just refer back to it. I want to be clear. This is not about becoming a new woman. Mm-mm. You're fine the way you are. You really are. It's about becoming more you, more intentional, more whole, more empowered. But that's who you already are. We're just helping bring that part of you out. And I say that because when your values lead your decision making, your life follows with clarity, with integrity, with joy, right? Does this sound like something you're ready for, right? I just gave you a whole big description of the individual wellness coaching program that I'm launching, that I'm using to transition from therapy. So if this sounds like something you would love to experience, I want you to click on the website in the details section. of this YouTube clip and contact me to schedule your first coaching session with me. I think that would really help you start, autumn off right. Okay, so I actually want to end this video describing a group coaching program I am also starting in the autumn. It is called She Rises. That's right. She rises like the phoenix from the ashes, right? And it is a healing circle for Black women. And I know the previous group I was talking about one on one coaching for individuals who are women or who are part of the LGBTQ community that are gender nonconforming, those kinds of things. This particular group I am reserving for Black women, right? A safe space for people that look like us. So She Rises is a sacred, supportive, and empowering space for Black women ready to connect with their bodies, reclaim their voices, reimagine their lives. Rooted in this group, this healing circle, is rooted in the wisdom of somatic healing, emotional resilience, the feminine collective support. This healing circle invites you to slow down, soften, and step into a life built around your truth, not your trauma, mm-mm, not your roles, what you do for other people, and not your obligations. This circle is just for you. We're only going to focus on you. So, this is more than a group coaching program for Black women. It's more than just, this is how you live a life. No, it is a journey of return to ourselves, to our bodies, to the parts of us that have been silenced, stretched too thin, or just forgotten about in the noise of everyday demands. So, in this healing circle, you are not required to fix yourself or perform healing. That's not required. You are actually invited to feel, to listen, to heal. That's all you have to do, right? You are welcomed exactly as you are, tired, tender, strong, confused, fierce, angry, or anything in between, right? So I know you might be asking yourself, with all the different things that are going on in the world, why are you creating a healing circle only for Black women, right? Shouldn't we be more inclusive? Yes, we should be more inclusive, but not in this space. There are some things that are very salient for Black women that are not as salient for other women of color. So, throughout history, Black women have healed in community, in circles, around fires, in whispered conversations, in shared stories. In our modern world, we are more digitally connected than ever, right? We're following different people on social media and sliding into their DMs and trying to connect with them in real life. Yet, spiritually and emotionally, we're disconnected from ourselves and each other. So, the She Rises Healing Circle is going to restore this timeless tradition of communal healing. It is a space where Black women come together um, to be witnessed, to be supported, to be gently guided back to wholeness through an embodied practice, through honest conversation, through intentional sisterhood. Do you see why the group is more exclusive right now? Okay. Healing doesn't happen in isolation. It happens in relationship. A lot of people feel like they have to go somewhere and get healed. No, we heal because we're with others, healthy others, but others. So, this circle is a container where transformation is held with tenderness, with power, with purpose. Now, similar to when I was talking about those 8 life spaces, I want you to hear about the different core elements of the healing circle so you can decide if this is for you. So, one element of healing is somatic and embodiment practices. Your body remembers everything: trauma, joy, anxiety, pleasure. It all lives in our cells, in our bodies, right? Through somatic, body based, that's what somatic means, practices such as breath work, grounding exercises, body movement, and yes, stillness. You will learn to release stored tension, reconnect with your intuition, and come home to your body as a place of wisdom and safety. These exercises that we will do as part of the group circle will help you center yourself, especially when life pulls you in too many directions, right? So at the start of each group, we're going to find our center so that we can all focus on ourselves. We I know that once you start this group, you'll start to notice when you're abandoning yourself. You'll know when you're engaging in self neglect, and you'll learn how to gently return to meeting your needs initially, right? It's a 6 week program, which means we'll have weekly check ins. It's designed to be short so that you don't feel this overcommitment, right, to the group, because that's not what we want. But every week for 6 weeks, we will gather on Zoom as a group of women who have chosen to enter this circle at this time of our lives. We gather to reflect, to share, to deepen the work together. And the live virtual sessions are guided by a trauma informed facilitator. That's me, right? So you will not be re traumatized in any way. And I will act as protector in the group. So if someone is inappropriate or mean or bringing negative energy, I will just let them go, right? So what do these live virtual sessions include? Collective grounding and intention setting, open-hearted sharing and sacred witnessing. I love a stimulating conversation. I love a healing conversation. There will be some group coaching and some guided inquiry in there. There will be some body movement and somatic integration practices. Because we're gathering virtually, it will mostly be things in your chair. Sometimes I may ask you to stand up. There will be some breathing things that we do. But the idea is for you to drop down into your body even more during these circles. Getting out of your head. Yes. I heard someone in this group listening to this say, I overthink. I'm always in my head too much. This group pulls you out of that. Now, the rhythm of the regular check-ins, it creates consistency and accountability while allowing enough space for life in between the sessions, right? You can breathe in between. So we will discuss and practice self care as a radical practice. I am talking the Audrey Lorde version of self care versus that luxury influencer version of self care. So, yes, this is about living a soft life. As a Black woman, you deserve softness. You deserve gentleness. You deserve magic, damn it. Right? So, self care is more than candles and scented bubble baths. It is a radical act of meeting your needs before the world starts making demands upon you. In this circle, in this healing circle, we will explore what real self care looks like. It's going to be different for all of us. But the overarching thing is that we're honoring our boundaries, we're tending to our nervous system, and we're choosing nourishment over depletion. Together, we can dismantle the guilt around rest and pleasure and space and rebuild new rhythms of care from the inside out. Yes. Another element of this circle is teaching you how to center and choose yourself. Black women are often taught to center everyone else: our children, our partners, our bosses, our friends, right? In this circle, we began the courageous practice of centering ourselves without the shame, without the shame. You'll learn how to choose yourself, not just in theory, but in action. And that might look like saying no. honoring your desire, simply pausing when you're overwhelmed. What we won't do is talk about pushing through and adding more things to your to do list. This is not selfishness. Let's correct the record. It's self honoring. When you center yourself, you create this inner stability that allows you to show up with integrity and presence, right, in every other area of your life. If you are centered, if you are choosing you, you have less resentment. You have less emotional exhaustion. I promise, right? So, in this healing circle, you will also learn and practice how to ask for and receive help, right? This is not something we learned growing up. Many Black women have internalized the belief that they must do everything alone, right? If you want something right, do it yourself. People will just let you down. We have all these, these inner monologues going on. But healing happens when we allow ourselves to be supported, when we surrender to the truth that we can't do it all by ourselves, right? Through guided exercises and compassionate discussion, I promise I will have compassion for you. We'll explore your relationship with asking for help and what gets in the way of receiving it, right? You'll practice speaking your needs and learning how to receive help with grace, with trust, and with openness. Vulnerability becomes your strength, not your shame. Vulnerability is not there for shaming. And if you're vulnerable with someone and they shame you, that is not your person. Those are not your people. The most important part of the healing circle is learning how to practice and accept love, right? This is something that I don't think a lot of people think about when they're moving through life and navigating relationships. They think about earning love. They think about proving themselves to be lovable to someone, but not accepting it and receiving it. Love is not something you earn, it is your birthright. You do not have to earn it. Yet, many Black women have learned to close off, to deflect compliments, to push away love out of fear, trauma, or conditioning. In this healing circle, oh, love, we will explore how to reopen your heart, how to soften those protective walls and barriers you put up, and let love in, first from yourself, right? And then from others. This isn't about romantic love alone. I want to be clear about that. It's about the deep soul level nourishment, connection, kindness, intimacy, and care. You are worthy of it all. In this healing circle, we will not put hierarchies in place like family goes over here, friends go over here, your love, the love of your life goes here. No, they're all on equal footing, right? In your love space, they are. And we're going to engage with them with some similarities so that everyone feels balanced. I want you to learn how to decenter work as your main identity. If I could choose my own middle name, it was chosen for me before I got here. But if I could choose my own middle name, it would be Shemya Decenter Work Vaughn, right? Work is often glorified, especially for Black women, proving their worth through productivity and achievement. But we are not what we do. You are more than your job title. You are more than your output. You are more than your hustle, right? In this healing circle, we challenge the culture of overworking and we explore new narratives that decenter work as your primary identity, right? Because we're preparing you for retirement. We are. Sometimes you have to prepare. Maybe this is a retirement boot camp. I don't know, right? And I don't care if you have 5 years to go, 10 years to go, or 20 years to go. You are preparing to stop work at some point in your life. So I want to guide you in rediscovering who you are beyond your career, beyond your degrees, right? And what it means to rest and to play and to be enough just as you are. Finally, finally, right? After 6 weeks, 6 weeks, 6 weeks, 6 weeks with me and the other women, you will have a blueprint for creating a life you love. I remember, because I do social media scrolling, I remember reading someone's thoughts about creating a life you do not need a vacation from, right? I don't remember the author. But I want that for you. I've created that for myself, and I want that for you. Right now, you are still going to take vacations, to be clear. You just don't need them anymore, right? You don't, your life doesn't wait for them anymore because you like the life you have. So ultimately, the healing circle will lead you to choices. What kind of life do you want to live? What would it look like to build a life based on not fear, not duty, not default? This is just the way it is, but a life based on desire and joy and alignment. You'll be guided through visioning practices, values alignment, and intentional goal setting to help you create a life you love from the inside out. And we don't need smart goals for everything, right? Sometimes your goal is, I want to feel a sense of freedom and liberation. You can't measure that, but you'll know when you feel it. This isn't about performing a perfect life. It's about building a life, not a perfect life, but building a life so that you can feel real and alive and meaningful, right? So your life can feel um, meaningful to you. So, self disclosure, I am currently living a life I love, right? I have to stop screaming um, because it freaks people out. But I quit my job and I became a digital nomad in 2023, spending time in Paris, most of my time in Paris because it is my favorite city. I've wanted to live there since I was 13. So you can imagine my excitement when I went there on vacation, then I went there to scout it out. And now I go there for months at a time, right? I've also visited Lyon. It's another city in France. I love French culture. Right now, I'm in Amsterdam. It's such a fun and quirky city. I'm a weird person, so it's the right amount of weird for me. And most recently, Casablanca, Morocco, right? I did not experience joy working in an office 9 to 5 and squeezing joy into the evenings and weekends, like delaying everything until after work. Because after work and on the weekends, you also have to run errands and do all that adulting stuff, right? Outside of the US, every single day feels like an amazing Saturday afternoon. If you work 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, you know what the hell I'm talking about right now, right? So my daily routine is to sleep late because I work late, but I sleep in late. I allow my body to wake me up naturally. I do not set an alarm to wake up. I do my yoga, I do my meditation. The yoga is mainly just to move out whatever happened the day before, right? And then the meditation is to center me, get my mind right. I eat a huge salad to jumpstart my day. I hate vegetables, so if I can just eat them, and when I start my day, then I don't have to eat as many throughout the day. I spend several hours exploring whatever city I'm in. Every city I travel to, I'm so excited about. I'm so in awe of. So I never tire of visiting different places in it. My work schedule starts between 8 and 10 p.m. So it's at night, right? Everyone that I know, like friends that I make in these different cities, have gone home by now. So around 8 or 10, I'm preparing for work and I work until the sun comes up. When the sun comes up, my body feels safe enough, right, to fall asleep. So I have put my insomnia to use, right? So this is my example of creating a life that I love. And I would love to help you define your dream life that will not look anything like mine and learn how to make the choices to create a life that you love for yourself. I learned how to make a life I want to live right now. I'm not waiting for retirement. And I want to help other women create a life they want to live. So let's spend some time understanding their healing circle format and what's included. So I already explained it's 6 weeks. It's weekly live Zoom sessions, right? It's a private group space for connection and reflection and support. Some of the resources I will give you are audio or video recordings of somatic practices, weekly journal prompts, self reflection tools, and mini lessons on things, affirmations, and meditations. I will record each session so that the replays are available for the people that can't attend live, right? So if you miss the weekly through the 6 weeks, if you miss one of those, you can just watch it later because I can't provide a one-on-one replay of what happened. I want to be clear about who She Rises is for. This healing circle is for Black women who crave a deeper sense of self connection and peace in her body, women who are tired of living on autopilot, right, by other people's expectations, women who are ready to soften the grip of perfectionism, of overworking, of self neglect, women who are seeking a supportive, non judgmental community of other Black women, desiring real tools to help them feel more grounded, more present, more alive, and then wanting to return to joy, rest, love, and truth. You don't need to be healed to join this group. You just need to be open to the process of healing and becoming whole and thriving. She Rises is a soft place to land. It's a powerful place to rise, right? Here in this group, you'll be seen, you'll be supported, and you'll be held, right? As you remember the truth of who you are, a Black woman worthy of love, worthy of wholeness, worthy of joy, not someday, but now, right now. So, this is your invitation. This is your invitation to stop surviving and start thriving. Does this sound like something you want to experience? So, click on the website to contact me and register for the group. So this is the end of the video, right? The episode. So do you want to be part of this new community? Please like and subscribe, and I will see you next week.